Last February, a 73-year-old grandmother in Scottsdale, Arizona, got a phone call at 2 in the morning from someone who sounded exactly like her 20-year-old grandson, Brandon. He was sobbing, practically hyperventilating, saying he'd been in a car accident in Tucson and they were going to arrest him unless she could wire bail money immediately. She could hear his voice shaking, the same voice she'd heard since he was a little boy, saying, "Grandma, please, I'm so scared." She wired $8,000 within the hour. Here's the thing. Brandon was sound asleep in his apartment in Phoenix the entire time. He never made that call. He was never in Tucson, never in an accident, and never needed bail money. What his grandmother heard on the phone was an artificial intelligence clone of his voice, built from roughly 30 seconds of audio that the scammers pulled off his public Instagram videos. 30 seconds of audio. $8,000 gone. And the worst part? This exact same scam is hitting thousands of American families right now, and it's getting better, faster, and harder to detect with every single passing month. If you're over 50, if you have grandkids, if you have aging parents, you need to watch every second of this video. Because what I'm about to show you is going to make you rethink every phone call, every video chat, and every email you'll receive for the rest of your life. That's not an exaggeration. That's the new reality we're all living in, whether we like it or not. Let me explain exactly how this technology works, because once you understand it, you'll never listen to a phone call the same way again. Artificial intelligence voice cloning used to require hours of recorded speech and a team of engineers with expensive equipment to pull off. That was 3 years ago, practically ancient history in the world of AI. Today, a free app on your phone can clone anyone's voice with as little as 3 seconds of sample audio. Let me say that again, 3 seconds. That's shorter than a voicemail greeting. Companies like 11 Labs, Resemble AI, and a dozen open-source alternatives make voice cloning accessible to literally anyone with an internet connection and about 10 minutes of free time. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, they call it IC3, reported that Americans over 60 lost roughly $3.4 billion to fraud in 2023, and that number jumped significantly in 2024. Elder fraud has become the single most profitable form of cybercrime in America, more lucrative than ransomware attacks on corporations, and voice cloning is the rocket fuel that's supercharging every single one of these scams. Now imagine that same scam, except the voice on the phone is an absolutely perfect replica of your grandson, your daughter, your best friend. Every inflection, every speech pattern, every little verbal tick that makes a voice recognizable, the AI nails all of it. Your brain hears that voice and every alarm bell that might have saved you just switches off. Because the most primal part of your mind is telling you this is real, this is someone you love, and they need your help right now. The Federal Trade Commission calls it the #1 consumer complaint they receive from people over 60, and FTC Chair Lina Khan testified before Congress that AI-generated voice scams represent a national security-level threat to American seniors. Now, if voice cloning scares you, buckle up, because I haven't even gotten to the really terrifying part yet. Deepfake video technology has reached a point where artificial intelligence can generate a real-time video of someone's face, moving, blinking, talking, that is virtually indistinguishable from an actual video call. In January 2024, a finance officer at a multinational company in Hong Kong received a video conference call from what appeared to be the company's chief financial officer, along with several other executives. They instructed him to transfer funds to specific accounts. Every person on that video call looked real, sounded real, and behaved exactly the way you'd expect in a corporate meeting. The finance officer transferred $25 million, roughly 200 million Hong Kong dollars, before anyone realized that every single person on that call was an AI-generated deepfake. Not one real human being was on the other end of that video conference. Let that sink in for a minute. Now here's why this matters to regular Americans over 50. A year ago, deepfake video required serious computing power and technical knowledge. Today it's getting cheaper and more accessible every month. Scammers in West Africa, Southeast Asia, and Eastern Europe are already using real-time face-swapping tools for romance scams and investor fraud targeting Americans. Picture this scenario because it's already happening. You join a Zoom call with someone who says they're a financial advisor your friend recommended. You can see his face clearly. Professional-looking guy, nice office in the background, diplomas on the wall. He sounds knowledgeable and trustworthy. He walks you through an investment opportunity, shows you documents, answers all your questions. You wire him your money because you saw him with your own two eyes and heard him with your own two ears. Except that person doesn't exist. The face was generated by AI in real time, the background was fake, the diplomas were fake, and your money is now in an untraceable cryptocurrency wallet somewhere in Cambodia. I want to step away from the technology for a minute and talk about what these scams actually do to people, because the financial losses are just the beginning of the damage. I've spent weeks reading through victim accounts and FTC complaints, and the emotional devastation these scams cause is something that doesn't get nearly enough attention. A retired school teacher in Minnesota named Carol, I'm using a pseudonym to protect her privacy, lost $140,000 to an AI-powered romance scam over a period of 6 months. The man she thought she was talking to was a deep-fake avatar controlled by a criminal syndicate operating out of Myanmar. They used AI to generate consistent photos, voice messages, and eventually video calls with a person who literally did not exist anywhere on planet Earth. When Carol finally realized what had happened, she didn't just lose her money, she lost her entire retirement savings, her self-respect, and very nearly her will to keep going. Her daughter told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that her mother stopped eating, stopped leaving the house, and repeatedly said she was too stupid to deserve to live. That's a direct quote from her own daughter, and it breaks my heart every single time I read it. Carol's story is not unusual, it's becoming horrifyingly common. AARP conducted a survey in 2024 finding that 1 in 3 Americans over 50 had been targeted by an AI-enhanced scam in the past 12 months. 1 in 3. If you're sitting with 2 friends right now, statistically one of you has already been targeted and may not even know it yet. The FBI reports that the average loss for victims over 60 is roughly $35,000 per incident. But the cases involving AI-generated voice or video tend to be significantly higher because the technology makes the scams far more convincing and allows criminals to build deeper trust over longer periods. And here's the thing that makes my blood boil: the vast majority of these crimes are never prosecuted. The scammers operate from countries with no extradition treaties, using encrypted communications and cryptocurrency that's nearly impossible to trace. The recovery rate for stolen funds is roughly 4%. We read that correctly. Victims get back about 4 cents on every dollar stolen. Let me tell you about the newest and possibly cruelest evolution of the romance scam, because this one is specifically designed to prey on loneliness, and Americans over 50 who've lost a spouse or gone through a divorce are the prime targets. Traditional romance scams used stolen photos of attractive people and scripted conversations run by humans sitting in call centers overseas. The weaknesses were obvious if you knew what to look for. The scammer couldn't video chat. Their messages sometimes felt generic, and they'd eventually make mistakes that gave them away. AI has eliminated every single one of those weaknesses in one fell swoop. Modern romance scammers use AI to generate completely original photos of people who don't exist. No reverse image search will ever catch them because the photos are one of a kind. They use language models to craft messages that are perfectly personalized to your interests, your humor, your communication style. And now with real-time deepfake video, they can actually hop on a video call and show you a face that matches all the photos they've been sending. The person responds to your jokes, remembers details about your life, asks about your grandkids by name. The AI backend feeds the human operator conversation suggestions in real time, making them seem impossibly attentive and caring. The Department of Justice broke up a romance scam ring in 2024 that was operating across 8 countries and had stolen over $73 million from American victims, the majority of them adults over 55. The ring employed over 100 operators who each managed dozens of fake relationships simultaneously using AI assistance tools. Think about the implications of that for a second. one person managing dozens of intimate relationships at once, with AI helping them remember every detail, craft every message, and never slip up. No human could do that alone, but with AI acting as their co-pilot, they maintain dozens of convincing romantic relationships for months or even years at a time. Let's talk about something that goes even beyond scam phone calls and fake romances, because AI is enabling an entirely new category of identity theft that most Americans have never even considered possible. With enough photos of your face, and let's be honest, most of us have hundreds floating around on social media, an AI system can generate a realistic video of you saying absolutely anything. In 2024, the Secret Service warned that criminals were using AI-generated videos of real people to open bank accounts, apply for loans, and pass identity verification checks that were specifically designed to stop fraud. Think about that. The security systems banks built to protect you are being defeated by AI that can impersonate you better than you could impersonate yourself. A criminal with your driver's license photo, a few of your Facebook pictures, and a 3-second clip of your voice from a birthday video can potentially walk into a digital bank and access your accounts by passing AI-powered identity verification using an AI-generated version of your face. The identity theft numbers are staggering and climbing fast. The FTC recorded roughly 1.4 million identity theft reports in 2023, and Javelin Strategy estimates that identity fraud cost Americans a total of $43 billion that year. With AI tools making synthetic identity creation faster and cheaper, those numbers are expected to grow substantially through 2026 and 2027. And older Americans are disproportionately targeted because they tend to have better credit, more assets, and are often less likely to monitor their accounts on a daily basis. A 25-year-old checks their banking app 3 times a day. A 65-year-old might check their statement once a month, and in that gap, a criminal with AI tools can do an astonishing amount of damage. All right. Enough with the nightmare fuel. Let's talk about what you can actually do to protect yourself and your family right now, starting tonight. Because this information might save you or someone you love a whole lot of money and heartbreak. Number 1, and this is the most important thing I will say in this entire video, establish a family code word. Sit down with your kids, your grandkids, your spouse, and pick a word or phrase that only your family knows. Something random that has nothing to do with your name, your pet, or anything anyone could guess. When someone calls claiming to be a family member in trouble, you ask for the code word before you do anything else. If they can't give it to you, you hang up immediately and call that family member directly on the number you already have saved in your phone. This single step, a family code word, would have prevented roughly 80% of AI voice cloning scams currently being reported to the FBI. 80%. It costs nothing, takes 5 minutes to set up, and could save you thousands of dollars. Tell everyone you know about this after watching this video. Number 2, never trust a phone call or video call as proof of identity, especially if money is involved. If someone calls you and asks for money, wiring information, gift card numbers, or any financial action, hang up and call them back on a number you already have. Do not use the number they give you. Do not call back the number that appeared on your caller ID because that can be spoofed easily too. Number 3, lock down your social media immediately. Set your Facebook, Instagram, and any other profiles to private. Remove public videos of yourself and your family members, especially short clips where people are speaking directly to the camera. Those clips are literal raw material for voice cloning criminals. If your grandkids have public social media, have an honest conversation with them about why that's now a genuine security risk for the entire family. Number 4, set up 2-factor authentication on every single financial account you have. That means your bank, your brokerage, your retirement accounts, your email, everything. Use an authenticator app, not text messages, because text messages can be intercepted. Yes, it's annoying, and it's roughly 1,000 times less annoying than losing your life savings to a scammer. Number 5, monitor your credit and your accounts like a hawk. Sign up for free credit monitoring through the major bureaus, set up transaction alerts on your bank accounts so you get a notification for every charge over $1, and actually look at your statements every single week. The faster you catch unauthorized activity, the better your chances of recovering the money. Number 6, if something feels off, it probably is. Trust your gut. Scammers create urgency because urgency kills rational thinking. Any legitimate situation, a real car accident, a real legal problem, a real investment opportunity, will still exist after you take 30 minutes to verify the facts. Anyone who pressures you to act immediately before you can check the story is almost certainly trying to steal from you. Look, I realize this whole video has been pretty heavy, and I'm sorry about that, but I'd rather scare you a little today than see you lose your savings tomorrow. The technology we're dealing with is evolving faster than the laws designed to protect us, and right now the bad guys have a significant head start. But you're not helpless in this fight. Not by a long shot. The fact that you watched this video all the way through means you're already better informed than 90% of the people these scammers are targeting. Knowledge really is your best defense here, and sharing that knowledge with the people you care about multiplies your protection exponentially. So here's my ask. Share this video with one person you love. Just one. A parent, a friend, a neighbor, anybody over 50 who might be vulnerable to this stuff. That simple act of sharing could be the thing that saves someone you care about from getting cleaned out by a criminal with a laptop and an AI voice cloner. Hit subscribe if you want to stay ahead of this stuff, because I've got a lot more coming on how AI is changing the threat landscape for regular Americans. Drop me a comment with the code word your family picks. I'd love to see how creative you all get with it. Take care of yourselves and each other, folks. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true or too scary to be real, take 30 minutes and verify before you do anything. That 30 minutes could save you everything.